Previously on Reno Sisters. We've been very busy on doors. All of the door trim is stained. The front door still needs to be stained, but we'll get to that. And then we can seal everything. But for now, I'm just so happy to have all of that behind us. This week the plan is to do all of the trim. So that includes getting all the door trim ready so we can put the doors we've already stripped back up. It also includes figuring out the top trim and getting all those boards ready to go up. So we're gonna see what we can do. So you may have wondered why we didn't also strip this piece of trim that had paint on it. And that's because this entire thing, even the brown part, is painted. And that's because it was a painted trim originally. It's not good quality wood underneath, but I didn't have an easy way to remove and replace it. So what we do instead is called faux bois, and that just means fake wood. So this is called liquid wood. We're gonna paint this on, and then we can stain the liquid wood on top, seal it, and hopefully it will match perfectly to the rest of this and the rest of the trim. So this teal is the leftover from the trim, obviously. We're not stripping it because it's probably poor quality wood underneath because it's part of the bathroom trim that we took off. The reason we didn't take this off is because we didn't really want to have to reframe all the trim in this door because the door does fit perfectly. So instead, I'm just going to faux bois this little part of the trim and make it look fancy with just a few things that are not expensive. So for all the top trim that we're adding here, so much of it, what we need to do is water pop it, which you just rub it down with water. It raises the grain of the wood. Then you sand it, so that way when we put the stain on it later, that's not what raises the grain, because then you have like a rough, nasty door. Okay. But we also want to pick the side that we want to water pop, so we'll pick like the prettiest side, and that way you only have to do like the 3 sides instead of all 4. Should hopefully be pretty obvious, like if you take a look at both sides. Unless it's like really interesting when the pattern breaks up like that. I typically like it better when it's like the longer cross section of wood.
So we'll do this side up.
Sample. This side looks a little more phallic, so I don't like that. I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay, you know.
This is a lady's house.
The truth is the truth.
Okay, at this point, you have a sense of what I like.
But right now I'm just watering them and they're drying.
Rubbing them with water. Yes.
Watering them.
Sure. So Brittany's been out here staining these boards, but unfortunately, the first batch turned out really well. The second batch, just too dark, and you can kind of see the difference between the one we liked and the one that's too dark. So I think we're gonna have to sand and then at least just the final layer do a slightly different color to make it lighter. Yay. I brought them in and sealed them just to see. This is the first batch and then this is the fixed second batch. I do still think they're pretty different, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to try to match them. Yeah.
That one has the first layer on it.
Laying across?
Yeah.
Cool. This one? It looks done, just with one layer.
It has the pre-stain and then the combo, and that's it.
I think that might be all it needs. That should do it.
You think only the one layer?
I think we need to hold it up to the original, but I think that's a match. Just the one layer.
Doesn't make any sense because I'm using the other side that hasn't had anything done on it.
Wood stains differently all the time, unfortunately.
So I've got all the ones first rounder over there.
Okay.
None of them are over here. That's the new one on top?
Yeah. Almost identical, right?
Doesn't make any sense, but yeah.
Wood's weird.
The only difference I did was for these, I did the pre-stain.
Mm-hmm.
Let them dry for 30 minutes, then did it. This one, I only let it dry for 8 minutes.
Maybe that helped even out the color for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that for the next ones too.
Let me tell you what happened. So on the first day, I did the pre-stain on every single board.
So the pre-stain helps to make the stain coat be a lot more uniform and less blotchy, especially on pine, which doesn't typically stain very well.
So I did that, and I did it for everything. And I did about 10 boards, and it started to rain. So I stopped what I was doing. I didn't want any water marks on the boards. So I come back the next day. I come back the next day.
PTSD.
I come back the next day, and I do the other boards, just like I did the boards the day before. And they're trash. The pre-stain on it that I put on there had evaporated. And I did not redo it because I didn't think about it. So now I've got boards that are two completely different shades. And there's no going back because they're not too light, they're too dark.
And that's worse because it's easier to make it darker, but once you make it too dark, just like for that door trim, I had her have to strip and restain last week. Once it gets too dark, you have to completely start over again.
So let's talk about how we started over, shall we? So we had to flip the boards over, and the rejected side of the boards now becomes the important side of the boards. But they had fingerprints on them from when I was picking them up and putting them down from being stained. So then for the 2 days, I was sanding boards, trying to get all the stain off. And it finally happened.
So that set us back 3 days.
Yeah.
So now all of the trim matches, which is the goal. All the stain looks the same, so we can finally bring them in, seal them, and each of them requires 3 coats with sanding in between. No big deal. That'll be so fast to do, right? No. But we'll do it, and then we're gonna install it. A lot of it's gonna be top trim, but we're also gonna use some of it for the bathroom trim, the baseboard removed, all that good stuff. This is hopefully the last time we have to take this door off the door frame. We need to seal inside the door frame today, but also I put a poly on this that's just a little too shiny, so we're gonna see if we can mattify it a bit today so it matches the rest of the trim. The door is back up and I have a light shining on it, so hopefully you can see that all of the sheen has been knocked back, which is great, but now we need to get it to match this sheen. And I also need to put another coat of sealant on this, so we're gonna seal this whole thing. So after the days and days that Brittany spent stripping all of the tiny little details on that front door last week, This week we were finally able to get some stain on it, and I used the same stain that I've used in other parts of the front porch. And I used several coats just because that wood was pretty mottled. I mean, you saw those mold marks, you saw some of the weird crocodile patterns happening on it. And while that is cool, it also looks strange when you're trying to stain something beautifully. So we have several coats on it. It really evened it out, and now it looks like a perfectly stained door. What is left is we need to scrape off all of the remnants of the paint stripper and sadness that's still on there because that looks ugly.
Oh, and the window part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remember how the top trim on all of the doors is completely different. And we thought maybe there were transom windows, but there is no empty space above it in the wall. So there's no hint that that was what was there before. Some people in the comments have recommended something which I think has merit, which is that at some point, probably mid-century when modern started to become a thing, someone stripped off all of whatever decorative trim was up there and replaced it with that sad blank board. So then it became, okay, what might have been up there before it was taken off. So we started looking around the house, and one thing we found in the mudroom is that there is some fancy trim at the top of the door frames in there. And it has this like crown piece with another piece of one by material on top. So the plan is that we're gonna try to see if we can recreate that, at least for one door, and just see how it looks.
It's also one of those things that, who knows? No one can tell us what was there before, so why not make it how we think it should look?
So we found that original top trim, and I thought, what if we could recreate it somehow? And after lots and lots of Google searching, I found a little crown piece that I think can help us recreate it. So let's see. So this is the crown piece that I found, and I think it's as close of a match as we can get to that original crown piece. And then on top of it, we put a 1x-piece material that creates that little shelf at the top of the trim. And I think that will be the closest match we can get. What I want to do before we commit to doing it for all the doors is just mock it up for one door and see how we feel. Moment of truth. Let's see how this looks. Probably seems to be a little bit darker, but I think that looks pretty good. And I'm thinking about adding this bead right here to run right there just to add a little more interest, which I've seen before in other houses. But what do you think? Is it too busy? Yes bead, no bead? Let us know in the comments. We're still kind of figuring it out, but I think it looks pretty cool.
It's definitely fancy schmancy.
Fancy schmancy.
Do
you like it though?
Yeah. Adds a lot more oomph to the door.
Oomph. Brittany votes yes.
I feel like everyone's gonna go yes.
I don't know, some people like simple. Like whoever did this to this top trim.
I know, right? Whoever killed it in the first place.
Okay, so we've tested what I call the bonus trim for the top of the door. And I think it's like pretty much a perfect match for what we found in the mudroom. And then I also really like that beading detail that goes on the bottom. I just think it kind of like balances out that heaviness we add to the top. But Brittany's in favor. I'm still a little bit torn. I kind of like the clean look of before, plus we're doing a lot of top trim. But I also really like the look of the added details. So again, let us know in the comments what you think. Should we add that bonus trim or leave it off and leave it more simple and plain?
I don't know, you seem to be more simple and plain. My whole thing is like less is more is false.
You want to go recreate some?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well,
I'm staining it all though.
yeah, she is staining it.
So there's that.
So this is the door we squished together and kind of changed the shape of. So now we get to see if it still fits in this door frame.
Okay.
Hey. It fits perfectly, which is funny because it actually used to stick before.
Well, we have squished it, so. Well, that's exciting.
Yay, old home restoration. So now we've removed the final 3 doors that need stripping, and this should hopefully be the final things that we have to do any sort of stripper on in this room. Yes. Knock on wood. So that's very exciting. They all have a coat of stripper on them, and the doors that are back in look really beautiful. So we've gotten a lot done this week, but not enough to actually get any trim up. But that's okay, we did all the prep work. We're hoping to start getting it installed. It doesn't seem like that is going to happen until this next episode. But in the meantime, I do want to hear from you about that bonus trim. Do you think we should use it? Should we keep it off? I also want to share with you a sneak preview of the top trim because I know you still haven't seen it yet. So I will share in the description the link to the inspiration that I found. It's a Craftsman home, same era, same height ceilings. But the good news is you won't have to wait very long. We'll be back with the next episode as usual on Sunday at 8 a.m. Central. And also the door trim inside the bathroom door.
It's magic.
Well, you did a weird flinchy thing.
I know, because I thought you were about to stab me in the
I'm
face.
not gonna stab you in the face.
One never knows.
You brought that on yourself. All right.
No, I didn't. Now I'm definitely gonna flinch.
All right. Yay.
Oh, yay.
You got her filming?
Yeah, I forgot we were talking. I was like, who are you talking to?
My imaginary friends.
Yeah, we got there.
We got there.
Yeah.
They all match now. They can all come inside and finally be used for trim. Gosh, the recollection made her physically ill.
I'm gonna keep staining.
Bye.
I wish it was bye.
Tiny butts here.
Itty bits.
Itty bitty.
Get bigger.
Is it allowed?
Oh my, Renee. She's altered it.
Even girl about to get shoved in the bathroom. All right. Into the bathroom you go.
A timeout for itty bits.
Time out time.
Oh no.
It's cold.
It is cold. We Texans are weak. We like heat. We know heat. We don't know cold. So even though it is not even below freezing or anywhere near freezing, we are freezing.
The 40s with a drizzle and a wind chill? No. No.